And yet it's precisely what DOGE is doing. It's letting a small group of unelected people, secret, run rampant through the executive branch, accessing the private data millions of Americans need, and God knows what they're going to do with it. God knows. People's privacy is at stake.
Oh no, not my personal data. Wow, Chuck. Thanks for the heads up. I had no idea my data was at risk. Next thing you'll tell me is that the sky is blue and politicians lie for a living. Look, I get it. Nobody likes their data floating around. But at this point, avoiding data exposure is about as realistic as trying to avoid paying taxes. I mean, unless, of course, you were in Congress. My name is Sirius, and this is Unfluenced. So let me get this straight. We're worried about Trump having data, but banks have all of your data. You literally have to hand over every detail about your existence just to open an account. Oh, the DMV? Oh, you better believe LaToya at the help desk has all your info. Address, social security number, phone number, height, weight, eye color, car make, and model. And that's assuming she isn't busy pretending to type while scrolling through TikTok. Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram. Oh, they don't just have your data. They know your deepest, darkest secrets. They know when you wake up. They know when you go to work. They know where you work. And they know when you poop. Yes, seriously. There's actual data on when people are most active online. Spoiler alert, it's during bathroom breaks. And this is where Schumer and his friends draw the line. Not when Google is tracking every step you take like a jealous ex. Not when Apple has a literal face scan of half the population. No. The real concern is Trump, maybe, having access to government inefficiencies. That's the thing that keeps Chucky Boy up at night. And speaking of broken systems, judges blocking Trump? You don't say. One of their latest desperation plays, getting federal judges to block Trump from investigating government waste. The last judge who did this, Judge John Bates, oh, he was a real gem. Turns out his wife's nonprofit was getting funding from the same government agency that Trump was investigating. Oh yeah, totally fair and impartial kind of judge. No conflict of interest there. Just a guy making purely legal decisions, while his wife's paycheck magically depends on his outcome. At this point, these activist judges aren't even trying to hide their bias. They're just cronies in robes, just rubber stamping whatever benefits their political buddies. They aren't judges. They're legalized mob bosses in government-issued costumes. They all need to go. He needs to be arrested. He needs to be put in jail.
If DOGE attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service.
Now, Schumer's real fear is the post office getting exposed. So let's get back to Schumer. He's panicking because Trump might get involved with the post office? You mean the same post office that loses packages more often than I lose my car keys? That charges for insurance but never actually pays claims? And employs some of the rudest, slowest government workers, outside of the DMV. Yeah, I'd hate for someone to take a closer look at that disaster. Now, as someone who uses USPS daily, I can personally confirm this place is a clown show. USPS, where your packages go to die. Now let's talk a little bit about the absolute joke of USPS tracking. Now I drop off a package with full tracking. Sometimes they scan it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it gets halfway across the country, then poof, vanished into the Bermuda Triangle of government inefficiency. So I go through the same dance. I call customer service. Hi, my package disappeared. We'll investigate and email you back in 1 to 4 weeks. Well, what are the odds you'll actually find it? Lamau, that's a good one. Then, a month later, I get a sad email saying, oops, we tried our best. No refund, no compensation, just a corporate shrug. And don't even get me started on USPS's insurance scam. Allegedly. I once filed a claim for a lost package. Actually, I file a lot of claims for lost packages, but this is the one that sticks out the best. I sent them a receipt. I sent them pictures of the item. It had tracking. I sent them the tracking links, everything. You know what they said? Oh, sorry, we can't verify the value. You can't verify the value? You lost the package, but I have to prove it existed? Now, I already verified the value. Now, this is like someone robbing your house and then demanding receipts before they acknowledge you had a TV. And then we have adjustments. Oh, those are fun. You ever heard of adjustments? I once sent a small package. Postage cost me $4.25. A few days later, I got a random charge for an additional $27. Why? Because USPS magically decided my envelope was actually an overnight express flat rate envelope. What do you do about that? Well, you can file a dispute, but that takes weeks. It has a 50-50 chance of success. Translation? Tough luck, buddy. Pay up. And there's nothing you can do about it. USPS is like the DMV, but worse. Visiting the post office, that's a magical experience. The line moves at the speed of a glacier. The employees look like they were sentenced to work there by a judge. And customer service? Non-existent. It's like government welfare for people who couldn't get jobs anywhere else. And good luck firing them. USPS employees can disappear for 3-hour breaks, show up wasted, and they can still keep their jobs. This actually happened at my local post office. One of the workers I know, she got drunk. She went on her 15-minute break, slipped out to the parking lot, got in her car, started just pounding vodka, passed out in her car. They had to give her a warning. They couldn't fire her. Literally, EMS had to show up to see if she was still alive. Nope, just a warning. Try doing that at your job. See how that works out for you. Now, why Schumer is really scared. Schumer's worried that Trump's DOGE might take a look at the post office. That's his big concern. My God, I hope they do. Because it turns out the post office is full of fraud already. There was a story, a USPS employee stole over $300,000 in checks and valuables just recently. And the 2 former USPS employees who stole $4 million in treasury checks, yeah, they worked at Kennedy Airport and they would just grab the envelopes as they came through. They were stealing treasury checks. That's tax refunds, pensions, disability payments, Social Security payments. Yeah, they took $4 million worth. And there was a USPS inspector. It's a guy who was in charge of stopping crime. He was caught stealing cash from packages. He'd open them up, he'd remove the GPS trackers, take all the cash, and then just send them back in the mail. Oh yeah, but let's totally pretend this is a well-run, ethical institution. Now here's a conclusion. Let DOGE burn it down. If Trump and DOGE take a long, hard look at the post office, you know what they'll find. Overpaid employees doing nothing. Wasteful spending on EV delivery vehicles that don't work, a bloated, inefficient system that desperately needs an overhaul. Maybe it's time to burn the whole thing down and rebuild it from scratch. Hope that doesn't bother Chucky Schumer too much. Seems like he likes the fraud. He likes the waste, the bloat, the corruption. Well, that's Chuck Schumer for you. Now listen, burn it down, build it from scratch. That may sound like a big ask, but it can be done. Amazon can get a package to my house in 24 hours, most of the time for free. USPS can barely get a letter across town without losing it. But sure, Schumer. Trump's the problem. Give me a break. All right, that's enough of a rant for today. I think I made my point. If you made it this far, you probably like this kind of stuff. Hit that like button, do the sub thing. That way you can see more when I get in a rant next time. All right, I got more coming later. I'll see you soon.